Still to come on this edition of Tim and Friends, Kipper on Brock Besser's future in Vancouver and if Leaf fans need to be worried about their defense. Ken Rosenthal on when the hell we're getting baseball. But it is the second segment on a Tuesday, which can only mean one of two things. One, I finally recite the first verse of Edith Piaf's classic Non Rien de Rien, or the virtual roundtable has been assembled. Thankfully for everyone involved, it is in fact the latter. It is roundtable time, and it is a special one. You see, it was Mac Miller who once said, knock, knock, let him in. It was Sid Cicero who once said, knock, knock, gold medal in the face. And it's exactly half of this week's Tuesday Roundtable that actually captured that gold medal, watched by an average of around, I don't know, 3 million people in the middle of the night here in Canada. At a former pro hockey player and a talented broadcaster, and well, me, and I think we got ourselves a round table. Joining me in studio is that former pro, played at Dartmouth, Ryerson, 9th overall pick in the CWHL draft, who just happens to be killing it as the co-host of the Fan Morning Show. It's Ailish Forfar. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's so nice to be invited back.
Another veteran of the game here on Tim and Friends, and oh yeah, of winning gold medals at the Olympic Games. She is a two-time world champion, a two-time Olympic champion, and I believe the silver medalist on The Amazing Race. Straight out of the Borough of Scars, please help me welcome back Natalie Spooner.
Hey, Tim. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Gold medal in the face!
I love it. And making her Tim and Friends debut, fresh off of her first Olympic gold, backstopping Canada with a combined, just 89 saves in 2 games against the Americans. Please help me welcome Ann-Renee Desbiens. Ann-Renee, thanks so much for doing this.
Woo!
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, I know you talked to Ailish on the morning show from the airport earlier today. Are you actually home yet?
Yes, I am home right now. However, I just got back a few hours ago, so still not unpacked, still haven't done anything. But we'll get there eventually in a few days.
All right, so we got a couple of days. You're allowed to enjoy this for a while before you unpack and all that stuff. But have you been able to process everything? We'll start with Ann-Renee. Have you been able to process everything that's happened over the last week?
I don't think I have yet. And my quality of sleep has been pretty low. I guess I'm just super excited and you still don't believe it. And I can't wait to share it, family and friends, people here. So sleep has not been the greatest, but I guess we'll have a few days ahead of us to catch up on that eventually.
All right, Spooner, over, under, how many hours have you slept since winning gold?
Oh, well, I think I slept about 3 hours a night, but Anne is the winner for the least amount of sleep.
Oh, yeah?
She rallied hard. I don't think she slept at all.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a lot of hours of sleep, but it's okay. I'm still alive. Planning on going snowmobiling after this, so I stay up for a little longer, try to fight the jet lag, but yeah, just
nice.
fighting it.
Snowmobiling is the Caesar in northern Quebec. Get rid of your hangover by going snowmobiling. What Spooner? What's just the best thing that you've experienced? And I know it's not your first, but this one was different. There was no family there. It was a different lead up. What's just the best part of the last week for you?
I think just getting to celebrate with my teammates. Like, this team was probably the closest team I've ever been a part of, and everyone gets along so well. And it probably was because we didn't have families around. We had to overcome COVID. We really had to connect and be each other's family. So it was that much sweeter winning this gold medal alongside, really 22 of my sisters. And I think just getting to celebrate that, all the inside jokes we have, all the dancing, all the singing, whatever it was, like, we have a blast with whatever we do.
All right, we're going to get into the dancing and the singing, but I got to ask, Ailish, you know this team and the game as well as probably anyone in our business, though I will shout out Megan Micallef, who did a wonderful job. What impressed you the most about the way these guys went about their business?
Yeah, I think it's the preparation that came into it too. And Spoons touched on it, but they were doing this in a pandemic, and centralization is already difficult enough. You have to leave your family, you have to put your career on hold, your family on hold. And to do that and to find a way to actually be united in this victory, I think that's the best thing as a fan of the game and as somebody that knows the girls. Like, they just came in and handled their business. They set multiple Olympic records while they were there. I think, how many goals did they get? Thousands. It felt like every game they're outscoring the other teams by like 20. And they did it, and they just never let their foot off the pedal. And so, like, as a fan of everybody, and I feel like giddy talking to them, even though they're my friends, like, I'm just so proud. So I think it was that resiliency. They came in and they just took care of business and didn't have one doubt that they were going to be victorious.
I won't call you Spoons because I don't know you that well, Nat, but I will ask you this. I often talk about how hard it is to know that one game every 4 years will determine your legacy. And I know you all have to block that out, but how hard is it to focus on making sure, one, you get there, and then two, you're at your best when you play that game that almost the entire world expects you to be in?
Yeah, I think the best thing is that this team, we didn't really focus on that one game. We focused on every single game to play like it was that game, and making sure that we were improving each game so that by the time we got to that game, it was just about playing the same game that we had played the whole year. Our team talked a lot about playing our way, and the things that made us successful. And it didn't matter who the opponent was then. We were going to play the same way throughout the whole game. And I think we soon figured out that if we stuck to that way, like, we were so successful and we were pretty dominant. We played a lot of boys teams, and obviously that was a learning curve, but I think we grew a lot through that too. But I think that we learned that if we played our way, we were, going to be dominant out there.
Ann-Renee, what did you learn? Like, when Natalie was talking about that, I saw you kind of sort of agreeing. What did you learn through the process?
Yeah, definitely to enjoy every day, I guess. The Olympics are so short when you looked at it. Well, minus the 26 days at the cafeteria, didn't look so short. But other than that, it flew by. So it's really make sure that you enjoy every single game, that you don't wish time away. And I think, yeah, obviously a lot of people do want to see us in gold medal, expect us to be there. But this team really did a good job at celebrating the little wins against each team, having fun. Like, I know Spooner talked about the dancing. I'm not a dancer. They managed to get me to dance. That's pretty amazing. I wouldn't do it for a lot of people, but they managed for me to do that. So, very special group.
There's a great story about you, Ann-Renee, by Christina Rutherford on Sportsnet.ca, and about how much you went through to get to this point, including taking some time away from hockey. Could you have imagined that returning to the team would go as well as it's gone over the last little while?
I had no expectations. Obviously, if you take 18 months off in a row that you don't see yourself playing again, when you come back, you definitely don't have an expectation to win a gold medal. So for me, it was just make the baby step, do what I could do to help this team, this program, and eventually I'm really glad I came back, because that's probably the coolest piece of jewelry I'll ever get.
That's awesome. Ailish, they won't say it, so I'm going to ask you. Do you think this was the greatest Canadian team of all time? And I know we're splitting hairs of greatness,
Yes.
and it's very difficult for me to split hairs of greatness because I have none. But this is what we do. Mm-hmm. Do you think this was the greatest Canadian team of all time?
Hands down. And I actually got to ask, because my opinion is a little bit less important, I asked Jennifer Botterill, and she said so herself. And so if she has played on some of the greatest teams and she can agree with me, I think it's just the makeup of the team. And if you look at the roster from Pyeongchang to here, not the biggest overturn, but the younger girls came in and they brought so much youth and vibrance to this team. And they've said it many times, the makeup of this team was what was so special. Statistics aside, which shows that they're, the best team ever. Yeah. I think just the energy you got from watching the girls, the fortitude to lose a gold medal game, to get yourself back together, to play in a pandemic, to be able to put all that other stuff aside and to come back and win gold. I can't think of a better storyline. And I think it does solidify this as the best, women's team Canada we've ever seen. And the game just keeps getting better. So what a great opportunity to have this be this kind of pivotal moment for women's hockey.
Nat, what does it mean to you to hear something like that?
It's pretty crazy, because obviously I grew up watching those girls who I think, are still the best in the world. I mean, I watched Haley Wickenheiser and thought, oh my gosh, I'll never be able to skate as fast as her. I watched Botts, who was one of the best centermen to ever play the game. I think so. It's pretty crazy hearing it. But, I do look at our team, and we had so much offense, and it was offense from, the goalie right up to, their net. So I think that, obviously we had an amazing team, and we won a gold medal. So it's pretty cool that we could even be, considered up there.
Okay, I need to ask this question of the group because I have no idea what the answer is, but how the hell does Marie-Philippe Poulin do what she does? Does anyone have a good answer? And I'll just read it for those who have forgotten, who weren't on social media, who don't know. 2 more in the gold medal game. She has 3 gold medals. She scored the game winner every single one of those games. She has now scored in every gold medal game that she has played in the Olympics. That's 4. She's the first and only player, male or female, to score in 4 Olympic gold medal games. She's got 3 golden goals. The numbers are ridiculous. Can any of you raise your hand if you know how the hell she's doing this?
Nope.
She scores on. She scores on me every day in practice. I'm not really surprised by it. But no, I guess that's probably why she's so good at everything she does, and her practice habits are the same. And she's just the best in the world. There's no doubts about that. I don't think there's a gender to it either. She just dominates, and she just gets better the more important the game is. So I'm not surprised to seeing her having success in those games. When you know her, when you see how hard she works, it's definitely just, good things happen to good people, and she's definitely one of them.
One of the things that I got the most pissed off at doing this job was when a writer once told me there's no such thing as clutch. Natalie, do we just offer Marie-Philippe Poulin up as evidence that there is clutch?
For sure. It's hilarious. We almost have to laugh about it now because even, in our rivalry series games, it was overtime and she scored, I think, 2 games in a row. And we're like,
yes.
How?
We were talking about it.
Can you tell us your secrets? You just laugh about it because it's so crazy. It's just so unheard of. But she's Captain Clutch, and she pulls through in those big moments, and she shines. And I'm just lucky she plays on our team.
Okay, before we go to commercial break for the first time, they're going to stick around for one more segment. I'm really excited about that. So thank you for doing that. But who came up with the pregame warm-up / dance? How did that all come about? And I can already see who the one that was hiding in the back was. Yeah. Was it you, Spooner?
No, it wasn't.
No.
We had we did a lot of through COVID, we had a lot of virtual things, and we had an actual choreographer teach us this dance. I could not have come up with those
moves. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so who's the person
it's a professional.
Who's the person who was way too into it?
Probably.
All right, who's the person who was hiding in the back on purpose?
That is definitely me. I'm in the far corner of that video, the one that you really can't see. I got better at it. I started to enjoy it, but at first it's way out of my comfort zone. But it was just such a fun thing, and especially as a warm-up. I remember we had some of the men's team just videotape us. They're like, what is that? Is that a warm-up? Is this a joke? But it was the funniest thing because we had so much fun doing it. But it's not part of our actual warm-up. It was just fun to warm up.
It's awesome.
We're going to do this between the break, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to try it out during the break. We won't film
We can
it,
teach
though.
you. We can teach you the moves.
I'll be like Ann-Renee, where
good.
I'll be in the back hiding while we do it. I want to take the break, but when we come back, I want to figure out how we capture the momentum that we saw yet again. And Spooner, we've had this conversation way too many times, but we'll do it again. How do we turn this into a sustainable pro league? The gold medalist Forfar sticking around. The roundtable continues on Tim and Friends. The roundtable is comprised of 3 pro hockey players and me, Tim Micallef. We've also got gold medal winners Natalie Spooner, Ann-Renee Desbiens, and Ailish Forfar in studio. Ailish, I'm going to start with you because you were really I said to Jesse yesterday that the women's hockey tournament was the marquee event of the Olympics for me. And I was on vacation with my family, but there was still the women are playing, I got to tune in here. Yeah. Outside of women's hockey, outside of that marquee, What was the best event for you?
Okay, I wanted to say curling, but we blew it. Canada sucked. So I was super excited about that, and I don't think I can be a curling fan anymore. I'm going to go with big air because new event, I think it was like skiing was the first time, and they just like literally fly into the air, and you're like, this is crazy. I would never be able to do this. Not one bone in my body would be interested in that, so I think that was what I was mostly excited to watch. Great debut of it. I don't even know if we won any medals, but it was sweet.
Let me ask you guys, and did you get to go out and watch other events like you normally would in the Olympics? Natalie, let's start with you. What's your favorite event outside of yours?
Probably the ice dance. I didn't get to actually go see the ice dance, but I watched the pairs figure skating. And then we also went one day to watch the bobsled. So we went up to the mountain village, and obviously our teammate Blair Turnbull, her fiance is Ryan, who's on the bobsled team. So cheering them on was super cool.
Ann-Renee?
I went to Big Air
Nice.
skiing, and that was definitely very, like Ailish said, it was, you need to be crazy to do that. And then I guess you need to be crazy to be a goalie, but you need to be crazier to do that sport. But just the venue was super cool. Like, obviously not traditional, but I think that, like, you'd see them jump, like, and everything in the background and land. And I don't know, it's obviously a very fun sport to watch. So that was definitely my favorite event.
Okay, so yesterday I brought up the TV numbers for the gold medal game, and we're still calculating in Canada for some reason. It was the most watched hockey game in the United States this season, period. It's crazy, and I said yesterday that should take us to a sustainable women's pro league. Ailish, are we there?
I feel like this next couple months is the most pivotal moments for women's hockey in general, not just Canada, United States. I think all the attention, we just saw the numbers, millions of people watched. It was the most important moment in our country for the Olympics. So clearly the demand is there. I'm sick of people saying, oh, I don't want to watch this, or like, nobody cares. The proof is there. People care. They really want to watch. This was the most important pride moment for our country. So I think we're close, and I think it's just now it's time to put this kind of stuff into action. I feel like the PWHPA has done a lot over the break, over the time where the Olympians were centralized, to be able to grow that momentum without the biggest names on the stage as well. So, like, kudos to them to be able to do that without the Olympians on the ice. So I think when we come back and we reassess what's going to happen over the next couple months, I have a really good feeling that there's some momentum and that people are really going to want to buy in, because you can't wait 4 years to watch these players play. It's ridiculous. It's really sad. Growing up wanting to be an Olympian, I didn't make it, clearly, but I can't wait 4 years every time to see these incredible girls on the world stage, so I have faith.
Nat, I can see you itching to get in here. We've talked about this way too much over the years. How do we get it to happen?
I mean, I think it is using this momentum forward. I just think, if we do want to see more Marie-Philippe Poulins, and there's no one can question how amazing she is and that she deserves to be on TV. So if we want to see more of her, we need a pro league that little girls can see us playing every single day or every other day, whatever it is, on TV. Because I think back, it was 2002 Olympics. I got to meet Jennifer Botterill after that Olympics and see her gold medal. And had that game, not been on TV and I saw her and I got to meet her, it would have never made a connection for me that I could be like her. And I think there's such a bigger impact that we can make on these little girls, and that it's just going to give more, ladies also the opportunity to keep playing and to keep developing. Because right now, you want to play with the best and against the best, but we don't have that place to play. And I'm sure if we get this league, we'll get players from all different countries too, that we've got to play against, and that, that's going to make even the Olympic competition better. We're going to get to play with those players on a daily basis. So I think just overall, it's just making the game, it's going to make the game of women's hockey grow at a much faster rate than it is already growing so fast.
I'm so glad you made that point, because I think the high tide lifts all boats, and the other countries will benefit from having women that can play pro hockey and sustain some sort of career. Ann-Renee, I know you were drafted 4th overall in the NWHL draft, but haven't played. Is it because you don't think that that's sustainable? And before you answer, I need to give a qualifier for folks at home. If I'm not mistaken, you have a master's degree in accounting, don't you?
I do. So after 2018, went back to school. Obviously, did not think that I had any viable league to play in. So it's like I'll learn how to count. Maybe I'll be able to make it work after. But hopefully nobody has to do that, right? Like we really hope that with the momentum and what's going on right now that we get to build off of it, and we did the PWHPA. So definitely exciting for what's coming next, and hopefully not too much counting involved in the next few years of my life.
Well, maybe it'll be counting paychecks in a pro league that is
counting
actually
shutouts.
Sustainable. Well, yeah, she ran out of fingers to count on, toes to count on at Wisconsin.
I don't think you need a master in accountancy to count shutouts.
You did in university. Because I think she
sure
has
did.
the all-time record in shutouts in university. Listen, this was a thrill for us to be able to do this, to talk to you guys and have two gold medalists join us and have a real conversation about women's hockey. And hopefully in the future we can do it a little bit more. But before we let you go, Ailish, we didn't speak about this before, but I think I speak for you when I say before we say goodbye to this roundtable, we have one more thing that we have to say. This is the ultimate compliment from Tim and Friends. It is simply the greatest horns that we have ever created.
Just play them all.
So thank you for doing this.
Oh, my pleasure. I had
Yeah,
fun.
thanks so much for having us.
And hopefully in 4 years we do another knock knock. Who's there? Gold medal in the face. Natalie Spooner, Ann-Renee Desbiens, Ailish Forfar, thank you very much. The roundtable has been disassembled.